Thank you for listening. My name is Mike Strauss, aka Strauss21. I'm a mixed martial arts journalist. I currently contribute to bjpen.com, Low Kick MMA, CageSidePress.com. You could find my work there as well as my YouTube channel at aka Strauss21. And of course, the Did You See That Shit Mixed Martial Arts podcast that you are listening to right now. Here is my latest interview. I hope you enjoy it. I want to welcome John Douma to the show. 22 years old, 3-1, has a big fight coming up here at Bellator 215. What is going on, brother?
Nothing. Just got home from work. About to head up to the gym.
Very cool. What do you do for work?
I'm a diesel mechanic, so it's all on like boats. So we do like big diesels on like commercial fishing boats and tugboats and stuff like that.
Very cool. So you get like all up in the engine bay, right? Like you have to probably climb all in there, right?
Yeah. I actually got a picture of my Instagram from like 2 years ago. I'm laying underneath an engine with the oil pan down. I was changing main bearings on it, so it was pretty cool.
That's crazy. I'm not sure if the average person really has a grasp or even a respect of how big some of those pieces of equipment that you're working with are. I mean, they're just massive. I used to work on automobiles, but when I was going to school, I would see the diesel. I would see just trucks, and those were enormous. I can't even imagine the things you work on. How big?
Yeah. They're like the size of like a sedan.
It's crazy. It takes a lot of skill, though. That's a very skillful job.
Yeah. It definitely takes a lot.
And so does
take a lot of years.
So does fighting, though, and that's another thing that you do.
Yeah, that's the big thing I do. that diesel is just my side thing.
I hear you. You have a big opportunity, man. It's going to be on the main card here. You're going to be fighting a guy that's got a lot of hype around him, in Mike Kimball, man. But he's just a man at the end of the day. Have you been watching tape on him to get ready for him?
Yeah. Me and my coaches just we're big onto watching tape and studying and coming up with a game plan. So we're down to that. So everything's pretty much coming into plan. We have it all together, so it's just fine tuning now.
For people that haven't seen you fight, how would you describe your fighting style?
I'm a little bit grittier. I like wrestling. I like boxing. I'm not so flashy, but I do what I need to do to win the fight.
Well, that's smart.
Yeah.
Mike Kimball, I've actually got to see him in person. At his last fight, I was there covering it. Yep. He's a talented young man, but you are too. So heading into this, a lot of talk's going to be about Kimball. You're going to be having that underdog role. Is that a role that you like to have?
Yeah. I mean, it's the same either way. You know what I mean? Well, it doesn't really, once you're in the cage and that door's locked, I could give a shit if I'm the underdog or the main guy. There's still a guy in front of me I got to fight. You know what I mean? But, as far as the whole underdog thing, I don't really see it that way. People are talking like that, but, I can't find one good reason why I would be the underdog.
Yeah, I mean, I hear you. I mean, that's one thing that I never understood about fighting is because, maybe it's cliche, right? But any guy can beat any guy at any given time, right? I mean, it truly is like a 50-50 shot in fighting. So anything can happen. I wanted to ask you, though, man, because Mike is a Rhode Island guy, and you being a Connecticut guy, I was just...
No, other way around.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry.
I'm Rhode Island. Yeah,
you're Rhode Island. He's from Connecticut. I was wondering if you guys have ever crossed paths before.
No, surprisingly, no. I've heard a whole lot about him, but never trained with him. I've never really seen him in person. So but we're familiar with each other. So.
Now, are you still training at Triforce MMA?
Yes, I am.
How long have you been there?
5 years.
Wow, is that your first gym that you ever trained at?
Yeah. So when I was 18, I moved up here from New Jersey to actually go to tech school. So I came up here and, and just had a whole lot of, time off and downtime, and I didn't really know anybody. I didn't have any friends. So I just always wanted to try MMA. I wrestled forever. So, I found Triforce online, and, I fell in love with the place, and I've been there ever since. That's one of the biggest reasons I fight, just because I like, my family's at Triforce, so, what the hell else am I going to do?
No, that's very cool, man. That's very cool, and you don't see that a lot too much anymore in this sport where where a guy, you know, hooks on with that first gym and then sticks with it, you know. So that's very cool, man. I wanted to ask you too, being from the New England area, are you a Patriots guy?
Yeah, not really. I mean, I don't know. I don't hate the Patriots. I don't really follow football that much anymore. I'm you know, ever since I started fighting, I used to love it, but ever since I started fighting, I just like I'm so busy all the time, and you know, I got my own stuff I'm worried about all the time. Like if I'm at home just hanging out, I'm not watching football. I'm watching fight tapes or fights or something like that. I'm kind of obsessed with it in that way.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Fighting really is a full-time job. I
Yeah.
mean, it really is, and it takes over every aspect of your life. I mean, for the good ones anyway, right?
Yeah, man. You know, I wouldn't change anything. You know, it's definitely like you said, it takes over, you know, my whole life, but I enjoy that. You know, it's something I, you know, I pride myself on.
So when you were looking up Triforce, you know, years ago when you were looking up the school, did you have an intent on joining a gym just because you were bored, you wanted to like stay healthy and active, or did you have that dream of becoming a fighter like from the very beginning?
Um, yeah, you know, I always knew I wanted to fight. Like the intention going in there was to eventually get a fight. You know, never did I think I was gonna, you know, make it this far. But you know, I think a lot of that had to do with once I got the Triforce, I had a crazy support system. Like, you know, I wrestled forever since I was in you know, I was fourth grade, but like nobody ever really believed in me like my coach Pete Jeffrey and you know all the guys there. And you know, once they kind of had that in me, you know, they gave that to me. I kind of, you know, like, you know, I could do a lot with this. And, you know, I think I just needed that little bit of like somebody telling me like, yeah, you're good at this. You can, you know, you can do this. You can make it big. And you know, it's just you know, ever since that, I kind of been dreaming big and you know, trying to make it to UFC, Bellator, or you know, and here we are.
Yeah, here you are, man. Just about a week out, and it's going to be a good night of fights, man. And you're going to be right in the thick of it there. You have a
Yep.
huge opportunity ahead of you, and I, for one, I'm not going to count you out. I can't wait. I want to give you a few minutes here to shout out your coaches, sponsors, whatever you would like, man. The floor is yours, John.
Yeah. You know, first, everybody at Triforce MMA, everybody at Lozon's MMA. You know, my coaches Pete Jeffrey, Dave Keefe, Greg Robello, my manager Tyson Chartier. You know, just there's too many names to name guys that I've been training with, but you know, they all know who they are. So you know, big thanks to those guys. I couldn't do any of it without you. You know, we're all a big team here. So that's it.
Well, I appreciate your time, John. I mean, at 22 years old, man, I think you have an opportunity to really have a long and impactful career in Bellator or UFC or whatever you finally do end up. But nonetheless, man, I want to wish you the best of luck come Bellator 215.
Thank you.